On Monday, April 19th, the town of Calmar was pleased to kick off National Volunteer Week by presenting some of the town and surrounding area's dedicated volunteers with a token of appreciation. Despite the public health measures in place, the town of Calmar hosted individual volunteers and their families for a brief, socially distanced ceremony outside the community center.
I love the kids, helping them realize that they can do more. They can be more than what they think their worlds are right now.
They were given gift cards to local businesses as well as some tasty goodies. A small way of showing that we noticed just how hard they work. These charitable volunteers were nominated by the organizations they serve for their outstanding commitment to supporting their community.
It's nice, and I said the years we've spent with the group, we've enjoyed it all.
1976. And since then, we've been on it.
Thank you to all local groups and organizations for your kind nominations. We look forward to sharing in these celebrations together in future years. In the morning, Town Councillors Krista Gardner and Don Faulkner were on hand to greet volunteers and say a few words.
My name is Don Faulkner. I'm currently a councillor with the town of Calmar and a longtime volunteer as well. I'd like to take a few moments to thank everyone for their time and volunteering for various activities and events in Calmar. And I just want to let you know how much I appreciate what you've done. I also would like you to take some time to recruit for us, because we can always use volunteers, and sometimes you're talking to the converted already, but share the knowledge of how fun it is and how much gratification you get from participating in volunteer programs. And like I say, keep up the good work, and hope we see you next year.
Hi, I'm Krista Gardner, a councillor with the town of Calmar. Everywhere you look in town, you can see the influence of volunteers. From parents who are coaching kids' sports and helping out at our schools, to our seniors who are sharing their wisdom and experience, to our youth who are working hard to build a brighter future. Volunteers work together to make our town a thriving community. We have had a long history of caring volunteers in the town of Calmar, but this past year has been a year like no other. I thank you for your time and your passion helping to build our community. One of my favorite quotes is from Glennon Doyle, and it says, "Be messy and complicated and afraid, and show up anyway." That is exactly what you have done. You have continued to show up no matter what has been happening in the world around you, and we appreciate that commitment. This past year has been messy and complicated. You have continued to persevere despite changing guidelines and having to go from Plan A to Plan B to Plan C and even D&E sometimes. Through all of that work, I have not worried once about how our community is going to handle COVID-19, because I know we have people like you committed to sharing your gifts with each other. All throughout the year, but especially now during National Volunteer Week, I want to thank you for your service. Happy National Volunteer Week, everyone.
Later in the day, Mayor Wally Yakamets and Councillor Terry Balaban arrived to thank volunteers and express their gratitude.
It is an honor and a privilege to attend Volunteer Appreciation Week again, and on behalf of Council, administration, staff, and especially the residents of the town of Calmar, I would like to thank all of the people that volunteered to make Calmar the community that it is. With COVID, we have had difficulty over the last year. Hopefully we can see light at the end of the tunnel. And through adversity, our community has become a much stronger place to live, work, and I thank one and all for the efforts that they have put forth. I'd also like to thank the volunteers over the last year that through this difficult time have continued to support the town as a community. So there in turn, I would just like to say thank you very much for everything that you've done. Understand that you are what makes the community, you are what makes Calmar be the Calmar that it is. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to thank all the residents of Calmar who gave up their many hours of their personal time to volunteer and to assist in making Calmar a great place to live and play. Because of you many volunteers, many of the residents of Calmar District have the opportunity to enjoy themselves through many of the non-profit organizations here in Calmar. Your volunteerism helps Calmar being such a great place to live and play. This has been a very challenging year. With the advent of COVID-19, it has been very challenging on the organizations, the societies, and all the volunteers associated with it. We have lost the opportunity to meet in person, but because of our Computer Aid Society, we have been able to meet and continue with our activities through the computerized platforms. Let us hope that we can get over this pandemic and get back to our regular lives soon. Once again, I wish to thank you for your volunteer efforts through this difficult time, and let us continue to provide our services through volunteerism to help the citizens of Calmar area have such enjoyment in their lives. Thank you.
Mr. Mike Lake, MP for Edmonton-Wetaskiwin, had this to say.
Hi everybody. Let me start by saying what a pleasure it is to have the honor of attending virtually this event for National Volunteer Week. Such an important week where we get a chance to recognize people who invest so much time in our communities to help people who need help, to build the community, do anything that it takes to make life better for all of us. So I'll start right away by expressing my appreciation for being included, and of course to the volunteers for all of the great work that you do. Now, 2020, of course, has been a really challenging year, and 2021 has started somewhat challenging as well. And there's light at the end of the tunnel, though. There's brighter days ahead, so to speak, to use multiple cliches. Summer's coming, and we will eventually transition out of this difficult time we're in. But if you take a look at the time we're in, it's a time that has highlighted a few things. The fact that all of us need help at some point in our life. We're here to celebrate people who give help, but at the same time, we're all receivers of help from time to time. And it's important for us to maintain that context as we're celebrating today, and as we're thinking about what life looks like moving forward. John Wooden, one of my favorite quotes, is that you can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. And so as we celebrate today, I think about the people that I've met in Calmar over the years, 5 years now as your member of parliament, who just invariably are always there. The council members and leaders in the community, parents through the school, and just others who make this community an incredible place to live and an incredible place to raise your family. So, to all of the volunteers out there, thank you so much for everything that you do, and thank you especially for including me in this important event.
Hello. 2020 has been a year like no other in Alberta. You know, as Albertans have had to struggle this past year to stay safe and to maintain a sense of community, volunteerism has become even more important. You know, sometimes we've had to be creative as we've looked at volunteering. We've had to wear a mask, and we've sometimes had to socially distance. And sometimes, even as we've been volunteering and trying to organize for any particular event, it's had to be by Zoom. Now, that speaks to the spirit of Albertans and to our creativity as we step outside of ourselves and as we volunteer. And in the process, we build that sense of community that we all need so much as we meet our fellow citizens' needs and our own. So to all those who have continued to volunteer throughout this year, you deserve a special thank you. Your efforts on behalf of all of our communities and others through your volunteering are greatly appreciated and needed. So today, more than ever, we want to say thank you.
Although we could not share in this celebration with all the groups and volunteers, we thank you for your efforts to keep us all healthy and safe during these difficult times. We look forward to rekindling the volunteer spirit just as soon as we're able. Volunteerism is at the heart of our community, and although we could not be together, the town of Calmar wants all volunteers and all hardworking townspeople to know that brighter days are on the horizon, and it's your hard work and dedication that will get us there.